was harder to keep track of than the lighter silver of Roman's, though, and I got the feeling he'd had to loop back to me a few times. When we came to a space between a few trees, Roman was standing there, still in wolf form, and it struck me again exactly how large he was. My eyes were stuck on the bulk of him standing between the trees, like some kind of old god. Most shifters were bigger than natural wolves, almost double their size. To most people, we were a terrifying sight, and I was sure we were the cause for legends of fearsome creatures in the woods that had risen over the years. It was a second later that I noticed that the deer we'd been chasing was dead at his feet, and blood painted his muzzle. Thanks to the unusual coloring of his fur, it just looked wet. I didn't have anything against hunting for our food, but it was taking me a while to shake my city sensibilities. I just wanted to have some pizzas delivered or something. That wasn't about to happen, though, so I'd accepted hunting as part of my new life. It didn't mean I wanted to see the blood and gore, though. I edged backward a little and gave the corpse of the deer a wide berth. At least it looked like the kill was quick. The air seemed to shimmer around Roman's form as he shifted from wolf to man.
"Dinner."
I assumed as much, I said, not really wanting to think about the dead animal at my feet. Why was it I was totally fine buying raw meat at the grocery store, but the minute I saw a dead animal, I couldn't think about how we were going to eat it without feeling a little twist in my stomach. That didn't seem very wolf-like of me.
"I'll carry it back. You run ahead with Blake. Get Micah ready for a bigger meal than we thought," Roman said, looking down at the carcass.
"We should stay together," I replied as I shook my head. The tang of the deer's blood in the air was thick and almost overwhelmed the loamy scent of the woods.
"You think we were followed?"
Roman asked, his gaze shifting beyond me as he analyzed the woods beyond my shoulder. "No, but I don't want you to get caught alone." I tried to reframe my concern.
"We haven't been bothered by Jax's wolves since we burned their woods. I don't think they're going to come after us just yet, considering all the places I poured the gasoline. They have enough to deal with right now without worrying about us. Besides, I can take on a couple of his pups."
Roman grinned at the end, and the wolf peeked out from his eyes. It was obvious that I wasn't going to win this argument, not with a wolf still mostly in control. To a degree, he would demand that I stay with him, since I was his mate, but my safety was even more important, so getting me back to our camp would be paramount. We'd set up some basic traps and defenses around our small camp, and it was about as safe as we could make it. Finally, I sighed and said, "Fine, but if you're not back in an hour, then I'm going to come look for you. Alone." A snarl ripped from Roman's lips.
"Blake and Micah won't let you."
"I can get around them if I need to. Don't make me." I stared directly into his eyes as I spoke and let the threat hang heavily in my voice so he knew I wasn't messing around. He was an alpha for all intents and purposes, and I knew he considered me part of his pack, just like I considered him to be part of mine. That also meant that staring him down wasn't the best idea, but it would help his wolf take me more seriously, so long as he didn't think I was challenging him for his position in the pack. A low growl seemed to leak from him, like air escaping a balloon, only more hair-raising and blood-chilling. It was an odd sound coming from a human instead of a wolf, but no less effective. Instead of responding to it, though, I just turned and walked away. He wanted me to go back to the camp, so I would, but I was serious about my threat, and he knew that, which was the important part. I kept a slower pace returning, since I didn't have to try and keep up with Roman, and it let my body relax a little now that I wasn't pushing it quite so hard. Blake ran alongside me, happy as a clam, apparently, if the way his tongue was lolling out the side of his mouth was anything to go by. The two of us made good time, and the silence was nice for once. I'd been so used to living my life alone, only chatting with a few people a day outside of the customers at the garage.